Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about Mercury in the 12th house in the natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the Mercury placements and the houses, and they're a little bit concise. Some people may refer to them as snappy. So what I decided to do is make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up, well, Mercury in the 12th house is comparable um, to Mercury in Pisces, but naturally you've got to blend in the zodiac sign. Mercury in Virgo in the 12th house can be different than Mercury in Pisces in the 12th house, as an example. Now, Mercury is connected with communications, so communications, a person may often talk about their secret sorrows, matters pertaining to the self undoing, hidden adversaries, their restrictions, limitations, uh, fears. Communication may often be with an aunt, an uncle, but the person may talk about these people as well. The person may has this placement, people that have this placement may often communicate about the paranormal, the unseen, the metaphysical, which includes astrology, poetry, dancing, photography, and chemistry, even um, pharmacies, as an example, hospitals, and all. Anyway, well, next thing with Mercury. Well, Mercury is associated with assimilating information. So people that have Mercury positive in the 12th house in their natal chart may find themselves gathering information connected with hospitals, their limitations, restrictions, hidden enemies, the less fortunate, you know, which can include the impoverished, the oppressed, the homely. I'm sorry, not only the homeless and the hungry. Um, and also even matters associated with an aunt and or uncle, uh, the imprisoned, the incarcerated, and also people that have this placement may be comfortable getting information when they're in solitude and seclusion as well. They may do their best thinking you know there as well. Now, and also Mercury is associated with analysis, so this could be a person, that often, may analyze things that are associated with the metaphysical, again, which includes astrology, the unseen in general, and he or she may analyze their fears off, what, puts one in that strong state of fright or trepidation. The dreams, this could be someone that is proficient in dream analysis, uh, secret sorrows, matters pertaining to the self undoing, the hidden enemies. And analysis may often be done in solitude and seclusion. The 12th house is also connected with mental illness. It doesn't necessarily mean that the person's analyzing their own mental illness, but they could be, there might be an interest in, understanding people that have, a mental illness, and there may be a lot of analysis that is connected with that as well. Mercury is also associated with siblings, cousins, and neighbors, so these people may figure more prominently, in a person's private life. It could be behind the scenes activity, one's secret sorrows. It could be for better or worse. These people may be beneficial in matters connected with one's secret sorrows, but they may, in some cases, they may play a role in them as well, adversely. And also, too, in some remote cases, siblings, cousins, and neighbors, may become hidden enemies in some cases. Now, it could also be where siblings, cousins, and neighbors, one or more of these people may be involved in some 12th house profession, whether it could be doing something with chemistry or pharmaceutical work, photography, poetry, dancing, illusion, the metaphysical again, which can include astrology. And another thing, about this could be a very good placement for people, that right when they're by themselves in isolation and solitude or seclusion, or doing something connected with manual dexterity, whether it be auto or refrigeration mechanics, when the person is by themselves in solitude or seclusion. Now, another thing about Mercury in astrology, it is connected with short journeys. So this person may be one that takes a lot of short journeys to places that are mysterious, the unseen, going into places that have seclusion. There may be limitations or restrictions in these matters, whether it's due to a physical related situation or a monetary situation, which may, as an example, limit the person in terms of, having the money for a vehicle, or somehow or often being short on gas to fill their vehicle up to actually take the short journeys, as some examples. And also, too, short journeys may often be taken with an aunt or an uncle. It could be people that were, formerly incarcerated, the less fortunate, again, which can include, the impoverished, the homeless, the oppressed, and the hungry. And also, short journeys may be, there may be more, confusion connected with them. Maybe the person deals, literally with more foggy conditions. Remember, the 12th house is the house of Pisces. And it's also, short journeys may be done, where a person sacrifices a lot of their time, and they may be done altruistically for others as well. So anyway, another thing about Mercury, it's associated with driving and vehicles. So, people that have, Mercury posited in the 12th house in their natal chart, they may, the cars themselves, or whatever vehicle is, a truck or a car or van, there might be something, about them that has a mystical quality, or something, unclear or nebulous connected with it. And maybe something that the person likes to photograph a lot. It could be, something where, a person needs to be careful, because, Mercury, again, being connected with vehicles, and the 12th house being the house of deception, that they don't, succumb to, the fast-talking salesman that promises more than he or she can deliver on vehicles, and finding out after the purchase that, the vehicle was not all it was cut out to be, things of that nature. And another thing about Mercury, in astrology, it's also connected with our early education. So having this Mercury in the 12th house, there may have been some limitations or restrictions in matters with one's early education. There may have been chaos connected with it. You may have been someone that sacrificed a lot during this time, and expressed a lot of altruism. It may have been, a time where you're very idealistic about these matters, but could have been unrealistic in terms of what may have been able to be attained scholastically. And there may have been something, unclear or nebulous regarding, one's early education as well. And this is also, Mercury in astrology is also connected with rational thinking. So Mercury posited in the 12th house. Well, there may be some limitations or restrictions connected with this. The person may, their time in solitude may have more of an impact on their rational thinking. 12th house is the house of chaos. So sometimes chaotic situations may have more of an impact on one's ability to think rationally than most. The 12th house is also corresponds with drugs and alcohol. So if the person is involved with either one of those things or both, that could have more of an adverse effect on the rational mind, more so than most people, on average. And also, another thing about analysis that, sometimes, this placement, can indicate, a mercurial or fickle aunt or uncle. And it could be too, where, when you have this placement, could be, expressing, again, a lot of, communication, when one's by themselves, more, in solitude and seclusion, more so than in other areas of their life. I would say, on average, with this placement, they may do their best thinking, these people, when they are by themselves. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.